There we go. Hello. Hello, everyone. Hello, Shawn. How are you all doing today?
Hello, Chris. Hello, guys. Sorry, I'm getting a feedback loop.
Uh-oh.
Give me one
Technical
second.
issues.
Technical
Technical
issues
issues.
indeed.
Sorry,
Yep.
guys. That's the way it works sometimes. You can fix these things as much as you want, and it'll never ever be fixed. I know that firsthand. With how many times stuff is broken on my streams and other things. So,
It's
just
alright. I'll
bit.
just have to deal with it. So,
Uh-oh.
so this is episode 21 of this podcast. Does not have a name for February 23rd, 2022. So, hope you guys are doing well. How's it going, Chris?
Doing, doing well. Not too bad. You said 21st episode?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I blanked out there when you're saying the date, as I tend to do, because I don't know what day it is. It's
Yes.
so sorry
When
about that.
when you're not working, your days seem very off, huh?
Yeah, 'cause at work
Like,
I gotta write the dates down and stuff like that, and when I'm not at work, I just forget what day it is. I just know I have one day off. I have 2 days off. That's it. That's all I remember. So, but yeah, it's been going all right. And you? Like, I mean, I guess I'm a bit more excited than usual.
yes, I think I know why, right?
Ye-
But we'll get into that in a second. So, yeah, what's new with you, Chris? I know. I'll start us off, I guess. So,
Yeah,
Final
you
Fantasy
can go
6
ahead.
Remaster today, huh?
I said, go ahead. You can start off.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 6 Pixel Remaster comes out today, or it did come out today. So, I think it's fair to say that's both of our favorite games, right?
It's definitely my favorite RPG of all time. Probably
Mine
my
too.
favorite game of all time. I love it so much. I can't wait to play. I'm going to skip all the others just to dive into FF6. But I
So,
was going to be doing the well, I was going to do more Resident Evil Code Veronica tonight, but then FF6 came out, and I'm like, I really just want to play that all night and not to do anything else. But I don't want to.
yeah,
I don't want to. I would like to do it on stream, maybe not, but I also don't want to stop in the middle of already the Code Veronica. Like I've just started this too, so I'm like pretty much in the middle or just beyond 50%, I think. So I can't
I
stop.
think can't stop, won't stop. I think you should honestly finish Code Veronica off. I don't know about you, but I hate leaving my games half played because when I come back to them, I just feel like starting over in that case, you know?
It
I kind of like,
For me, it
because like,
depends on the game. It's a lot of games I could stop partway through, especially if it's a really grindy RPG, and it doesn't really matter that much. Like that's I've been playing what's it called? Rogue Galaxy for like 4 years on my PlayStation 2, but I'm wanting to grind through a lot of stuff that I don't need to in that game. So a lot of it's just kind of like I guess what you went through with some of the pixel remasters. You gotta grind to get the specific item. Well, I'm grinding so I can find these specific monsters in specific areas so I can get my hunts finished and get levels up on that. So it can it's taken a while. So that game I don't care how long it takes, as long as I beat it eventually and hopefully get the stuff finished that I want to get finished. But for story driven games like Resident Evil and stuff like that, I want to just get done, finish it, and be done with it. That I can go on to something else later on. So it depends. For me, it depends on the games. A lot of games I could drop off in the middle and I'll be fine. So, but I understand, like especially on stream, I don't want to stop in the middle of a game unless if it's one I'm not enjoying. And you
yeah,
don't
for
want to be
sure.
streaming a game you're not enjoying because you know you don't enjoy it. Your viewers will know you don't enjoy it. So,
Exactly. Exactly. So what else? Let's, I guess we'll circle back around to that in a bit. What else have you been up to, Chris? What's new with you?
uh,
Is
you
it that
know,
bad?
no, it's not bad. Just the same stuff as usual. Ninja Storm, uh, Super Sentai, Ninja Storm, or Hurricane Rangers. Then Fist of the North Star is still going as it's going. Uh, I did actually try. Uh, Other than that, I started playing on the Nintendo Switch. What's it called? Earthbound Beginnings or Mother
Oh,
One.
nice. Nice.
Yeah,
I didn't
not
know you
nice.
were
Not nice.
well, I was going to say I know you're a Nintendo Online subscriber, but not nice. You say what's wrong with the games?
Oh, well, I haven't had this. So I've played, A little bit of Zelda, a little bit of Metroid, Mario, the Nintendo era versions of them, and have had no issues with them. Turn on Earthbound Beginnings, and there's half a second to a second of delay on the game for every
Really?
button input.
Huh.
And I confirmed this with a friend of mine who also has the Nintendo subscription, and it's the same thing for him. We live in the same city. We are playing the game at different times. So I don't think it's any load issue, and it's a bloody Nintendo game. There shouldn't be a load issue for that. But yeah,
No.
there's a delay on the game. Like, it is really terrible trying to play a game where you have a big delay like that.
Yeah, that's strange. Like, and it's not one of those cloud-based games too, right? It's just like a game you download onto your
No,
Switch, right?
it's Nintendo's streaming service.
Okay, so it is a Kingdom
It's this,
Hearts
yeah,
situation.
well, yeah, it's the same thing. Like for the, and it's the same thing that like it's their now retro version where they put other retro games like the N64 stuff that we talked about a while ago is the same thing.
Right.
It's streamed to you. But for some reason, like all the Nintendo games I've played have been fine. And then Earthbound Beginnings is really awful. There's a big delay. I was gonna look up if anyone else was talking about it, but I forgot. And I was actually gonna, since I own it on Wii U, I was going to turn on my Wii U and check it out there to see if there's a delay on that version. Found out my Wii U's fucking bricked.
What happened to it?
I don't know. I turn it
It
on.
just,
I go
huh?
to do anything. I could click on anything, settings, a game, anything. It says there's a memory issue. I've done everything Nintendo says is that will probably solve the issue. The system does not work. I think the only option I have is to send it in to get repaired.
Do they even do repairs for the Wii U anymore?
I have no idea.
I'm sorry to hear that,
But
dude.
my
That sucks.
system is bricked. I barely got to play the games on there that I had because I wanted to buy a bunch of games on there when the prices dropped for it, so I don't have to buy either the Switch version or whatever. Just build up my library on that for certain games, right? Or certain games that we won't be able to get anymore. But no, my console's now bricked, and I probably won't be able to get it fixed. But we'll see.
That's a problem with all these retro systems. Like eventually they're going to break and they're going to become increasingly more rare and more expensive to fix.
It doesn't help
Whether
that the Wii U's a weird fucking system. I don't know if
yeah,
any places know how to fix it other than Nintendo. I don't know. I haven't looked yet, but it's really shitty because I had Earthbound Beginnings. I had a couple other games on there that are just on the Switch, but now I won't be able to play them. Or not Switch, sorry, Wii U. Yeah,
is this something you're willing to pay for? Like, are you just going to say screw it, the repair?
depends on how much it will cost. Because I don't want the system here if it's just going to be useless, right? But like it's not like I'm pretty sure I've still got my original Wii here, so I think that still works. I don't know. I should plug it in and see. But hell, the it looks more and more like I might have to get a fucking emulator playing the games I fucking own legally. Not just the
Yeah,
older ones, but this console's not that old, really.
no,
And
it's not.
the thing bricked up, and I heard that I wouldn't say it's uncommon or very common, but lots of people have had this issue with these Wii U's. So yeah, even more reason why all those games on the Wii U should be ported to other systems because those stores are being shut down soon and people's systems are dying.
Yeah, yeah. We talked about that couple, or was it
I want to
last
say it was
episode? I think.
last week.
Yeah, it was the last week we talked about that, and yeah, this is exactly why emulation is a good thing. Like, and we're talking, legal emulation
Yeah,
too, right?
not stealing emulation.
No. So yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry, dude. That's hardware too. Hardware can be emulated, but you still want the hardware. If you have it in your hands or you have it on you, you kind of want to be able to use it. That's the whole point of it, right?
Yeah, that's it exactly. I may not have used it a lot, but there's lots of games on there I want to play or can only play on there. So,
Hmm.
I mean, good thing this didn't happen with my bloody 3DS. That's a bigger kick in the nuts if that fucking dies. Like I've got a ton of games on there that I still haven't played. Like I bought this last year, whatever, a couple of the Zelda games on there, and I haven't played those through yet. So
Luckily, none of my systems have ever died, except for like a couple Xbox 360s. But that's like the red ring of death that everyone knows about.
yeah,
I
I
still
think
have my
everyone, yeah, I think that
yeah,
happened to everyone.
I still have my original Game Boy, the original model Game Boy, and that still freaking works to this day. And I still have my original Nintendo. It still freaking works to this day. I know that will change at some point in my life, more likely.
Yeah,
But for
but those
now,
those are old enough that you can emulate them if need be. But
yeah, I guess you're right. The Wii U is a little harder to emulate. Like, I mean, like there's definitely emulators out there for Wii U,
there's
but
got to be. But
because there's ones for Switch already, right?
yeah,
So you think like last gen would have it as well.
you'd
So
think so, unless the Wii U is that bloody weird that they haven't been able to figure it out yet, because that could happen. But yeah, it's sucks. Rip my Wii U, unless if
rip.
unless if I could find a way to get fixed for not that much. I don't want to spend $300 on a console to get fixed.
Yeah, that sucks.
Like at that point, I'm just gonna get rid of the Wii U then. Just get rid of it for scrap or something. But I don't know what I would do with it. Like sell it as with the saying what errors on it, but all my info's on the fucking thing. So I would need to wipe it somehow, which I can't if I can't access any of the settings in the console. So they're saying it's like an issue sometimes with like doing an update on the console, but I can't force it to update. And I don't know if
Well,
that's the actual issue or not.
yeah, I mean, if worse comes to worse, you could probably just sell it, and probably someone would buy for parts, just because if a system like this kind of it's just like even for the really old vintage computers like from the 70s and 80s, if yours doesn't work, someone will want to buy it because someone else's will break and
Oh,
they'll want the part.
oh,
You know what I
I understand that. I'm just
mean?
worried
Yeah.
about the information I have on the Wii U
Hmm.
because if my credit card information's on there, I don't want anyone touching that Wii U.
For
Even if
sure.
it is an old credit card, it still is information. So,
Yeah, I completely understand that. Well, aside from that bad luck and bad news, you said Earthbound was running slow on your Switch, or Earthbound Zero as well.
well, Earthbound Zero was having just frame delays. Like
And
delays.
that's how does an 8-bit game on
Yeah,
a Switch have a delay just because of an online
I
service?
don't
That's ridiculous.
I don't understand. I don't know if it's because it's being emulated poorly, which I'm guessing is the reason, because none of the other games are having issues being streamed to you that are Nintendo era games. But this one does. And it's really annoying, especially I could get over it for certain games, but with this game, you need to walk up to people, stop, open up your menu, hit the talk button, and hope within the time you stopped and open up your menu, they didn't walk away, which is really annoying because NPCs do move around, and that's super super annoying. Most of it's a turn-based RPG, so who cares if there's a little bit of delay, right? But just that aspect of trying to talk to people. Imagine like FF6 or whatever, if
Oh
there was a
god.
big delay on that and NPCs are constantly moving around, like chasing them down, like push them into a corner and hope they don't. You could trap them in a corner to talk to them, like.
Hey
Uh,
you, I stay right there. I want to talk to you.
Yeah, no, no, don't move, damn it. Like, it's really awful. And I've had confirmed at least with one friend that this is an issue. I want to look it up more, but I forgot to. Because I was trying to deal with my Wii U, trying to figure out if there was an issue with that.
Well, Nintendo's really been fucking you over lately, huh?
Yeah, it seems. But yeah, that's been like my week, really. Other than playing through Code Veronica, which I'm enjoying. I've been trying to figure out what to do about my Wii U or why Earthbound Beginnings runs like shit. Like
You're
the
you're pretty close to your affiliate now. I've been watching your streams in the morning because your streams are when I wake up for my work because I work from home now, so I can afford to have you in lurk mode at the very
yeah,
least. But yeah, so
yeah,
you're really close, man. I'm really hoping you get it soon.
yeah, it's going. People, you know how it is. Oh, sorry, one sec. Oh, my eye, so dry. Oh, sorry. No, just the corners of my eyes dry out sometimes. I'm sure that happens to you. Maybe not. I don't know. Because you got glasses, maybe it doesn't happen as often. Maybe it does. But yeah, you know how it is on Twitch, right? With people come in, lurk, go get regulars here and there. So slowly, slowly getting there with a few days I can stream a week. So you know, it's the way it is. And getting closer to starting up my art stream, I just need to get a few more things sorted out, and I could probably
Sorry,
start
what
on
did you
my
say? Which stream?
art,
Oh,
my
art. Okay,
cosplay. And
right.
so I'll be getting set up for my. I was gonna say new armor, but it's just another way of making the old version of the armor I just did, which is Super Vegeta.
Have you considered making Vegeta blue, like with the V symbol on his armor? That
I
version?
will do that eventually, but since I just made Super Vegeta wig, I need the armor to go with it. So
Right. Makes sense. Makes sense.
when I eventually do or decide to do the other wigs, I will do the armors that accompany that. so I'll leave it for that. But yeah, that's pretty much been it for me. Not much other than that and getting upset with my fucking Wii U. Yeah. And what about you?
So as you can tell, I guess you can if you're only listening to this, but if you're watching the video version of this, as you can tell, I kind of changed my setup. Had a couple streams the last week. The first one was I got this Titan or Secret Labs Titan Evo 2022 gaming chair.
Yeah, I
So I
think
had
you
like
had that last week, but
oh, did I? Okay, yes. So I think you're right. So I did this, but I also had this new gaming desk, which is it was both of these things were on sale. Like I needed an upgrade. My desk and my chair I've had for like I don't know. The desk was like at least for 15, well, maybe not 15, but like at least like a decade, and I needed an upgrade. So I got a really nice gaming desk, has LEDs built into it. It's made for gaming. Like it has like somewhere I can put my headphones. I can put my drink here. I know you can't see it. Comes with this little controller for the LEDs.
hmm,
So yeah, it's I really like it. I'm still working on my setup. It's not 100% complete, but now at least I have space that I can bust out my the tower I just got here. So because before I couldn't really set this up, but you can't really see it. But like the tower I've had issues in the past with my cat where if I put the tower on the ground, she's just like hairy. She sheds like a lot every day. Her hair will get inside the computer. So I was like, never again will I have a tower on the ground.
hmm,
So I had to wait for a gaming desk and I couldn't do it before because of work. I needed the setup I had. I didn't have any other space for the tower. I needed my laptop and my second screen and a few other things. But now that I have all this extra space, I can actually afford to, well, afford as in I have like the real
yeah.
estate, like space. I can afford to like
Now
have the
watch,
tower on here now.
now watch in a few weeks. Be like, I don't have enough space to my desk. Got too much stuff.
You know what? I was already thinking this is an L-shaped desk. Maybe I can like buy another one.
That's what
Like
I.
just connect the
That's
two.
how I used to have mine set up. I had two L-shaped desks like touching each other, so it was just one long desk. I guess
Well,
that.
mine would be like a U almost. You
Yeah,
know what I
I
mean?
also had it set up like that too. So I was just surrounded by desk.
I'm strongly considering it, but I spent a lot on the chair and the desk, so my budget's kind of like I shouldn't be spending this
Maybe in
much. I
the
need to
future,
down.
if you actually need a lot more space. I mean, you've
Right
also
now,
got your other desk if you're hanging on to it for backup, for extra space at the moment. But
I'm probably gonna try and sell it. Honestly,
hmm,
I don't want it anymore. This is how old it is. It has CD holders on this on both sides, so it's kind of out of fashion at this point.
yeah,
That's how old that desk is. I kind of want it gone from my place right now, but I'll see if I can sell it on like Kijiji or something. But yeah, what else? What else? What else is new? Let's see. So I did have new news. I just can't remember it. I'm having a brain fart.
you watch something? Did you play something?
No, not really. I haven't been playing that much, honestly, just because of having to set these things up. And oh, there we go. Now I remembered. So, you know, as someone who's on Twitch, they said you should like also be able to, go on other social media. So I made Instagram. I also made a TikTok, Chris. I know you're probably onto TikTok, but I'm gonna try and make a TikTok every week. I think my first one's really good. It's actually about my gaming desk. The
Hmm,
second one's about my gaming chair. I try to make them like really like somewhat comedy skits. The first one's more like just good music, but the second one's going to be like more so. Well, on the TikTok, it's going to be like just
Yeah,
a lot of comedy stuff. So I already have it on my phone. I'm going to upload. I'm going to try and make one TikTok a week. So I'm now on TikTok. My first TikTok had 850 views, and it's growing. So that's not too bad. That's after like a day too. I'm not sure how TikTok works. I had like 850 views after like 24 hours. I like nothing after that. So I
yeah,
think it prioritizes like stuff that's like under a day old.
maybe.
So yeah.
Um, you. This is an audio issue. Your stream is muted apparently somehow,
Oh,
according to Chatter.
that's strange because I can hear myself. Okay, that's not good. Yes, thank you, Maynard, for letting me know.
I was just waiting for a break so I could tell you. I just noticed. I hope that you weren't. I hope
Okay,
that wasn't sitting there for a long time, Maynard.
so if I do this, can you say something? Oh, hang on. Can you say something now,
I could say
Chris? Hello.
something. Is this good?
Yes, I'm probably gonna end it. I'm gonna end this on my stream. We'll still continue on yours.
Okay.
So
You're just having
yeah,
issues.
tech issues. I
Yeah.
did what you said, but I don't think it's working. Um, I think Chris will be doubling up. Can you say something, Chris? I
Hello,
think
hello, hello.
on my stream, I think you're doubling up because it's taking.
Audio is
Yeah,
good now. I can hear. I'm trying to deal with audio issues while live on stream through two
yeah,
different streams.
I'm just gonna end my stream, and then
Okay.
we'll continue on yours.
If you're sure,
Yep, I already ended it, so it's all good. I'll delete the VOD as well,
I
actually, because
guess we'll have to figure this out and do a.
yeah. So what I was
Yeah.
trying to do tonight was so Twitch has a little article, not that I needed it because it didn't really tell you that much about co-hosting a stream. So all I was doing was I was trying to use Chris's stream as a source, but then I didn't want to like I can hear him on my end obviously when he talks, just like he can hear me, you know, vice versa, of course. But like I wanted to make sure that even though I could hear him, you guys couldn't. But then the browser source that you guys could hear, and to me, I was able to hear it, but I guess
We'll have to look at
yeah,
that because it should have been working the way we thought it was going to work.
it was not, and that's why at the start of the stream, if you remember, I said, "Oh, hang on, I can hear myself. I could hear our echo. I just was ignoring it up until now, but yeah, it's fine." Anyways,
Oh,
so that's what
well,
I've been
rip
up to.
stream.
Yeah, I've been up to a lot of like behind the scenes things for my stream. You can tell I got like the LED strips on my wall here all around me. Got the LED gaming lights here, so yeah, I'm pretty happy. This kind of makes me happy. All these LED lights. It's like it's funny because like I went from like no LEDs to like okay now I'm obsessed with them. This is my life now. Just call me Mr. LED apparently because like I want more. I need all the LEDs still,
That's all you're about now.
pretty much. So yeah, a lot of behind the scenes things. Then that's pretty much it for me. I haven't really been playing all too much. I mean, okay, no, that's a lie. I have been playing a little bit of Dead by Daylight with yourself and with another one of my friends on
Hmm.
Twitch, Chris. So yeah,
We had a
again,
couple
it's not.
rounds.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. You know, it's not the game I normally play. I don't usually play those sorts of games. Like I played PvP games in the past, but nowadays, I just want to chill out. And a lot of the times, I do get salty from the game because like that one round I played with you, Chris, I was pissed because the killer was after me the whole match practically.
Yeah, there's not much you
So
could
I was
do.
like, "What the fuck, dude?" I still escaped though, so because you guys were helping me out. But like
Yeah,
he was just like tunnel vision on me. He didn't care about anything else. I'm like, what? I was just like pissed. I'm like, what
just
kind of
just wait. Like, uh, my buddy Rob, when we play, he'll run the killer around and then he'll teabag him. They'll get the killer so tilted they'll just face cam him. They'll hook him and only him and just stare at him in the face. And
nice?
then we'll just run around and get the chance done and leave. And he's like, "Well, it's like I did my job." I mean, he doesn't escape, but the killer just sits there because he's so determined to kill him and only him because he gets him so angry. uh, because he'll be running around hitting, trying to hit everyone else, and then as soon as Rob gets on him, he'll tilt him so bad. Like, but there's certain people that'll play that want that desperately and want that one kill and don't care, so they'll tunnel people as soon as they're unhooked. It's really awful that they do this or
And
that they do that
I
because
swear
it
that
makes the
happens.
game it to me it makes the game less fun for people. Like if you're being tunneled, like as you have noticed, you kind of go, I don't know if I want to play another round because of this. And that happened to me like the first few months I played, and then my buddy, another of our friends, jumped in and started playing with us. He was new, and it happened to him, and it just kind of goes around in a cycle of like months where sometimes you are just getting shitty killers or shitty survivors, or no matter what you do, you always have to run into the killer. Like I've been running around, and as soon as I turn a corner, the killer will be right there. Just happens to be there because it's not like they knew I was there. I just happened to walk right into them, right? You know, like shit like that happens. But that's why you need. I never play solo queue. I always play with friends because you need people there you could talk to help you get through. You're not always going to get out, but hopefully it will be a better experience with your friends.
Yeah, I've never solo queued in that game. I only play with friends. As I said, it's not really my cup of tea generally. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, it's a fun game for what it is. I picked it up for like $10 on the Steam sale that they just had. I think
ten
it's the
bucks
Chinese
is
New Year.
worth it, I think.
Yeah, it's also on Game Pass actually.
Yeah,
for- So you could actually play on PC or on console. And I'm pretty sure that game has cross platform compatible.
yes, it does.
Yeah, so you can play with other people regardless of where they're
But,
playing on.
but you gotta play on PC. You gotta play as Bill. Bill.
What does that have to do with PC?
I isn't he only on PC? 'Cause he's
I
not on
that's
consoles, I don't think.
that's news to me. We
I
could
know
find
his
out.
I know his abilities are on consoles for sure.
So then there should be a way to get them without needing him then. But and if it's
Yeah,
cross,
but
then
but you gotta play as Bill. You gotta play as Bill, the old man.
well, Bill's from Left 4 Dead, so that just automatically makes him cool. And then also the fact that he's a badass.
Yeah. Bill's the best. I mean, he's the survivor I main. Him, then Cheryl, then Leon. That's the tier they go in. And then
Okay.
maybe Ash underneath them, but
Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, Ash, I'm excited to play as, even though you have to pay for him. Same thing for Leon. I'm like, oh my god, all these cool characters, all the licensed characters. Of course, I understand you have to pay for them, but
yeah, they're the
I was
only
like,
ones
God
you have to
damn it.
spend real money on. The others you can unlock through game currency, so
Mhm.
but yeah, it's the game's pretty good. Yeah, I just get think that especially starting out, you have to start with friends. You can't unless if you just are good at playing those types of games by yourself. I'm not, so
Well, the thing is, like, as a new player, you start with like no perks, and like you're basically naked, and like you have like no advantage,
hmm
opposite effects, and yeah, I didn't understand the concept of the game. I'm like, why do I die if I get hooked 3 times? Like, I just didn't understand it. But then the matches are a lot shorter than I would have thought originally. It's like, hey, get the 5 generators, get out. That's
yeah,
that's basically the game. That's the game in a
like
nutshell.
10 or 15 minutes maybe, depending. Right? We'll see. But yeah, it's
It was really strange too because like I didn't realize. Okay, so like when you're playing as a survivor, of which there are 4 per match, it's just like a third-person game. But when you're playing as the killer, it's like an FPS. It's like
yeah.
a first-person perspective. So yeah, it's as I said, it's okay. I'd only play it with friends. I probably wouldn't play it with myself. If I were to play it with myself, I'd definitely start up like the Xbox version. But then like I'm an achievement whore, so I need to like get all the achievements. Then I would be gung ho on it.
Well,
That's why I'm playing on the Steam version, so I don't let that side of my personality
yeah,
slip
I
in.
was gonna say there's definitely achievements, and some of them are definitely harder to get.
Yeah,
I don't play killer that often, but my favorite killers are Ghostface, Freddy Krueger, and the clown. The clown's just
the
a
clown.
drunk. He's just a the clown. I think that's just what he's named as. He's just a clown. He looks like a drunk hobo who throws bottles at people, bottles of
This is a killer.
mysterious poisons or of other things in them.
This is a killer.
Yeah,
I've never encountered
we'll
this
have
killer.
to if we ever get a good group together because most people don't play him. If we ever get a group of 5 together, we'll do kill your friends, and then I'll show you the clown.
Okay, so I think I told you the story yeah, I told you the story privately, Chris, but I'll say it for the chat here for the podcast.
Mm.
So one of my first matches, I forget the level. I think it's a saw level, the one or the jail level, like the one with multiple like levels, like stairs and all that.
The pig. what's it called, the game.
Yeah, the Saw, right?
Yeah,
The pig. Yeah, the pig is Amanda from the Saw movies.
yeah,
So, um, yeah, so I started on the top level, and like literally, there's a wall here, and there's like, oh, I guess I have to kind of say it more for the audio portion. So there's a wall across from me with a doorway, and I saw the killer walk by it, and then they saw me. They doubled back. I'm like, okay, well, I'm starting on like the other side of the room, and right where I am is like the stairs going down, but the stairs like on the three other sides is like has like protectors, right?
yeah,
So like only I could directly go down. The killer would have had to like come to where I was standing, like go around like this, like make like kind of like a U shape
yeah,
to get down, right? I'm like, I'm fine because I have to get down. I have at least 5 seconds. They're not gonna know which direction I ran because I'm using the perk that reduces my the blood shard. Not the blood
the
shards.
scratches.
The scratch. Thank you. The scratches, but like 3 seconds. It goes from 5 to like 2 seconds
Mm,
because I did the free perk. I'm like, they're not gonna know where I am. And then it was needle face or sorry,
the
uh,
pinhead.
pinhead. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm like,
needle
I've never
face.
I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. Shut up. Anyways, so like he teleported to me, and I swear he did. He teleported to me not only directly to me, but also through the floor. Because remember, he was on the second floor.
Yeah,
He never used the stairs. I'm like, what kind of bullshit? Because I saw like a blue. I think it was a blue like circle light thing like spawn like right where I was standing because I was running. I'm like, what the hell is this behind me?
yeah,
And then he just like hooks me like he sounds like from those games I don't even know which character I'm talking about, like some like just sends like a hook like with chains. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So not only did he bypass like vertically but also horizontally, he just like
yeah.
directly
I
I'm like, that's such horseshit. And then he started putting these like invisible chains that when I walked past him they like sprung onto me and like slowed me down. You have to hold the button to like unhook
yeah.
yourself, and I'm like,
I
oh
would
my
love
god.
to see the beginning of that to see what happened to you at the beginning there, because his hooks and that, that's all normal abilities. But what you're describing sounds like that he faced through the wall, through the floor to get to you. So I would like to know what happened.
Yeah, so shout out to Nessie because I was playing with her. And actually, I think you're both in Edmonton, by the way, Chris. So that's kind of a strange coincidence.
Hmm.
But yeah, she introduced me to the game, but I knew you were playing the game for a while, but you're playing with your own kind of work friend group. So I didn't really have an opportunity to play with you until recently.
Hmm.
And yeah, so that's basically one of the games I was playing this week for the most part. Honestly, I haven't been playing many
He's
games
so
this last week,
teleport.
but
I don't know about that perk. Sorry. Yeah, Nessie's explaining. But yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, that's my bullshit Dead by Daylight story. I swear I get salty playing. This is why I don't like playing these sorts of games because as much as I try not to, I do get salty. Not because I'm losing, but because of bullshit like that. It's like as a new player, it's super frustrating to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
So
It
I know a game is supposed to be fun, and I acknowledge that. I shouldn't be salty. I also acknowledge that, but I can't help it. I
it
can't.
the it doesn't help that the game tries to match you up. Like, everyone that's in your party tries to match you up against killers of your apparent level. But if you're new and you're playing with people who are veteran players, even if their ranks aren't very high, there's a hidden like matchmaking system, their MMR thing,
Yeah.
and that can screw you up because I've been in matches where I'm one of the lowest levels, along with all my friends, and we get matched up against like tier 3 killers. Like, the hell is this bullshit? I mean, so, it sucks. you know, but it's the way it is, stuff like that. So, you just gotta play with friends, and if you continue playing it, you do. If you don't, I guess it's just not for you. But 10
Well,
bucks or free on the Game Pass is still a decent price to pay to try out a game. I don't think that's too
no,
much of a
it's
price point. So
it's worth playing. The game's been out for like what 5 years at this point,
I think so,
right?
at least.
I just really suck at getting away from killers. Like
Oh yeah, that I still
I
suck, and I've been
suck.
playing for over 1,000 hours. So,
Wow,
well,
that's
1,000 or close to 1,000 hours. So
it's like I know there's perks you can pick that make you fat, but like a killer, even if I'm full health and I've never been on the hook yet, it seems like they are always able to catch up to me. Like they're always like quicker than me for some
yep,
reason.
the killers are slightly faster than you. It's so that they can catch you. It'd be dumb if they were the same speed or always slower than you. Then
See, I
there'd be no
never knew
point.
that. Yeah, I never knew that. I
There
thought
are,
if I could like dodge them, that I could like outrun them,
yeah,
but basically they will
you,
always capture you, you're
yeah,
saying.
kind of, but if you know how to loop them around things and vaults, obstacles, and stuff like that, you can get away from them. It's just if you're running in a straight line or doing small zigzags, they'll slowly catch up to you eventually. And Michael, if he cheers up, he will easily catch up to you.
Dude, Michael, I was in the match. Oh, I was in the match with you. The last match, fucking, I was at full health, and he was invincible, and he one shot me. I'm like, what the fuck is
Yeah,
this
Michael's got an ability to.
bullshit?
Michael, when he can tear
Bullshit.
up, he can mark you and one shot. Yeah, Michael's cool.
Because like I have a perk because I don't have any good perks on. Sorry, which crit? What's the girl I'm playing as? What's her name again?
I believe it was Nia.
I don't think that's her name. It's the girl with the pink shirt, and she has the mask as one of her heads.
Yeah, Nia.
Oh, is it
Or
Nia? Okay.
Meg.
Yeah, it's Meg. Meg, that's who it is.
Sorry, I
It's
keep
Meg.
getting those two confused. I don't play as them that often.
Yeah, because Nia, I'm like, I don't recognize that name. It's Meg. So
Yeah,
I'm playing as Meg because both you and Nessie said that she's a good starting character for a new player like
yeah.
myself because of her perks. So I've been sticking with her. And one of the perks, I'm not sure if it's specific to her. I don't think it is. But like when the killer sees me or like I line of sight on the killer, it'll play a noise and my cooldown will go off. So I'm like, oh god. And like Michael, I knew Michael was close to me because my perk went off. I'm like, I don't fucking see him. And then all of a sudden
Yep.
I'm like, why am I on the ground? I should be able to take 2 hits, not just 1.
Yeah, Michael's.
Bullshit.
It takes a while
Bullshit.
for Michael to do that, but he could just his walking speed will slow down, but he can tear up on you. Like he'll feed off of you. Basically, in first person mode, like you activate your ability and you'll slow down, but you can see the survivors and your meter will slowly tick up. And when he gets to his uh, third tier, I believe he can one shot everyone, or is it second? And then I believe he could also kill you as well. He can Murray you.
Yeah,
The
so
special kills are
I
cool.
was introduced to Mori. Basically, you get hooked once, and if you get downed again, you're fucked. You're just dead. That's such horseshit. I don't like
Yeah,
that. That's
yeah,
such an unbalanced. That's such an unbalanced mechanic of the game, in my opinion. Like, I realize it's a consumable item, so they can't do it every single time. Like, I get that, but still, it's like when it happens to you, it doesn't feel good. It feels bad, man.
yeah, yeah. It's definitely different. I mean, I guess I'm a survivor main, but so I think the game's imbalanced more in favor of killers. But they are trying to try to keep it as balanced as they can. But I feel it's more in favor of killers. But I could be wrong. I don't play it enough or care enough to bother caring about it. I just play and hopefully have fun. Hopefully
Yes.
not get tunneled and camped too often.
I would like to eventually. I know you don't get blood shards or experience in this game. That's what it's called. You don't get blood shards for having like a 5 player custom match, but I would like to do that and just like actually, get both perspective. Like,
Yeah,
what could I be doing differently from
that's
running away as a killer? What should I be doing? Because like as a killer, I suck because it's FPS.
yeah.
It's like first person,
As
so it's like
as new
yeah.
killers and that come out, me and my friends, we usually try to get a group of 5 together and try and mess around with the killer and the new survivors and stuff like that. So just to see what they can do, so we can maybe kind of understand how their abilities work.
I'm interested to see if I download the version with achievements if my progress will transfer because I have a level 40 meg right now. So
I
I'm wondering
want
to
to
see.
say as long as the account progress, you're still signing to the same account, it should. So
Yeah, because the game has crossplay, so you'd think it's
you'd think so,
actually
but
crossplay,
I've
right?
never played anything other than PC, so I don't know.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
do you play just as an ending here? Do you play controller or mouse and keyboard?
So I've been going back and forth. Mouse because I'm in the middle of like hooking up my tower, but because of my laptop keyboard, it's not like even though it's a gaming, it's an Asus ROG laptop, and but the keyboard is not that good. It's like this is from like 2000, wow, 2014. So it's kind of the keyboard not that great. So like I have a hard time hitting control just because the control is like really tiny. You think they bump up control for a gaming laptop, but no, control is like really tiny. It's in my corner, so whenever I need to hit control, it's always a struggle for me because I always have to use my pinky, and
Hmm.
it's in a very awkward spot. Like I have to like almost like rotate my hand to hit it, if that
Yeah,
makes sense. And
yeah,
I have pretty big hands, I'll be honest. So
yeah. Laptop keyboards are crap.
Yeah, so because of that, I was actually going like 50-50 keyboard and mouse and
Hmm. And controller.
mouse and no, sorry, what did I say? Keyboard and mouse and controller. Yeah, I was going back and
Yeah.
forth. Right now I'm liking controller more just because it's easier on the hands, but once I start using like this keyboard here, we'll see if I change my mind.
Yeah. It's different. It depends on how you feel. The controls. I assume that some people would probably like the controller more if they're better at like looping the killer or running the killer, like 360ing them, running around them and stuff like that. But I don't know. I've had issues with that with like 3D games where mouse and keyboard just doesn't quite do it for me. But yeah, we try to get like a group of 5 to do kill your friends. So we sometimes don't, but if it's just for testing, then who cares how many people are in? But we usually like to do that and then spend a few hours just running through everyone and then playing other killers as well, just for fun.
Right.
Make a night of it.
So yeah, I'll probably be playing Final Fantasy 6 Pixel Remastered starting tomorrow and playing the fuck out of that. Hopefully the next few days. We'll see. I still want to set up my
You didn't do the other
um,
ones, did you?
I did.
4, 5, 6,
I did
or
I
4,
did
5?
I did 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I took a break. I didn't do 5.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I'm
So
gonna skip
five's the one you
5.
didn't do.
I'm gonna have to come back to 5. I was always planning on coming back to 5, but I don't know, dude. Like as I said, 6 is our favorite game, so you know exactly how I feel. I want to play 6 now. Like
I mean, if we weren't doing this and weren't going to be watching stuff after this, I'd be
yes.
playing it because I've already started downloading the game. So
Oh, I had it downloaded because for me, for EST, it came out like at noon. So like even though I was at work, I was like, download and then back to work.
yeah, I mean it's easy for you. I was asleep, so
Yeah.
but yeah,
So that's all I did. But yeah, I guess we can move on to the gaming news,
yeah, we
Chris.
might as well. We spent quite a bit talking about that and games, so we could go into some newsy bits.
Yeah, so remember that Cyberpunk patch we were talking about
Yep,
last
I
time? So
forgot to do
apparently,
this as well, just to make sure things were fine, but it seems things aren't fine for certain people on certain consoles.
yeah, so they fixed it recently, like in the last couple days or so, I believe.
I
But
hope so, but this is the news as of we know about it.
yeah, like we were planning on talking about this, but it got fixed, so you can kind of call this non-news. But I think it's still kind of worth
I
pointing out. So
I think it is worth it just in case some people have issues still.
yeah,
So
so the PS4 version specifically of Cyberpunk with this new 1.5 patch that we were talking about, yeah, that kind of made it so that you couldn't even play the game
on
on the system
PS4s,
on
if you
PS4,
had the
the disc
physical
version.
version of the game, which is
Yeah,
weird.
so that's super strange. But I mean, software is super strange. Like spaghetti code can like easily affect and do weird things.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I really hope it actually did get fixed because it's really shitty. Lots of people are obviously looking forward to it and want it to be fixed and played on the console they bought it on, and they shouldn't have to. I mean, I guess worst comes to worst, if the physical version doesn't work, they'd have to offer people the digital version, and they should do it for free, right? But that still doesn't help with longevity of the game. If you have the physical disc, you should still be able to play. Anyway,
yeah.
sorry, I'm
Oh, that's
ranting.
basically no,
But
it's all
yeah,
right. That's basically that news story done. It's just basically somehow they fucked it up. Like that one specific version for like a physical release, not the digital version of the
yeah,
PS4. By the way, I think we mentioned this last time, but like yeah, they put the Cyberpunk game back on the PlayStation Store like digitally. So
yeah. I think we mentioned that a patch ago or something like that. I don't remember. It was, I think it was the one when I reinstalled the game and started to play it, and then this patch came out, which I don't know if it broke my game or not. Like changed around settings and stuff like that, so I need to reinstall and see what happens.
yeah,
So,
so that's about it for that. So we can move on. Did you want to bring the next one up, or I can?
yeah. So Steam is making a change to their store in terms of, um, I guess the developers and how they price things. So they are changing things basically. They're putting in bigger amounts of time between when you can change the price of a game and put it on sale, because I don't know what it was before, but they changed it to be about 28 days, so about a month between these now. And you won't be able to price a game for less than 10% and won't be able to price it for more than 90%. So the price could be between 90 or 10 and 90%. This will change. This will help us from like consumers ourselves from potentially getting scammed from certain developers because it seems that certain ones were jumping on the Steam saying we're going to increase our game by 50%, but next week we'll put it on sale for 10% off or 15% off or something like that, and
Yeah.
pretend that there's an actual sale going on when there's not because you inflated the price of a game.
Yeah, this has been the tactic I've seen happen not just on Steam. It's actually very, very common on console as well. So someone will make some shovelware game, like a game that's like you can get easy achievements, or like a game like a very crappy visual novel, or like an RPG maker game. Like they purposely don't put much work into it. It's just like for them to make as much money as they can with
Mm,
this the smallest amount of effort. I've seen people like purposely price it at $30, and then oh hey, celebration sale for launching the game 90% off, and that was their original price. Like
yeah,
they priced it like $30 on purpose and then have a discount like 90% to make it like $3, and they were always planning on selling it for $3 as a regular price. But as humans, and this is something I've seen and actually studied a little bit, we are kind of, when we see a sale, we're kind of like, oh, I need that, it's
yeah.
on sale.
It's
it's
cheaper
it's,
than it
it's
was
like,
before.
exactly. And it's not just FOMO, which is fear of missing out. It's also, people like getting sales. That's just the way it is. Like I've seen like people drive, okay, oh wow, this product is $10 cheaper. Like if I drive across town and get it, well, I'm gonna go get it there, right? I've seen this happen. And
I've
they
only
go get it
spent three
there.
dollars of gas getting there, and I
I was
still
about to say
spent.
that. Damn it, Chris, don't steal my story. Damn it. Son of a bitch.
I'm sorry.
Anyways, yeah, exactly. No, you're right. So basically, like they spend at least $10 driving there to the other side of town and driving back. And it's like, did you actually save something? But to them, it's about, oh, I got a sale. It's just a phenomenon
Yeah,
that really
it's like the
it,
idea when you go into a store and you see an item marked for 4.99. It's actually $5. That one penny doesn't mean anything, but oh, it's 4.99. It's cheaper. Like no, not really. Like that. When you go walk into a shop and everything's marked like one penny less than the actual dollar amount or whatever.
you
Like,
want to know what's funny? Um, so like, what was it? God, 15 years ago when we met each other, like working groceries overnight, back when we were both a lot younger. So what happened was, there are things called dollar days, right?
mm,
And like, I remember like pudding at the time, like a 4 pack of pudding was like 88 cents. And then they're like, "Oh, dollar days, everything's a dollar," and they raised the price of pudding to like a dollar. I'm like, "Oh, so they're actually like losing money buying this?" But people are like, "Oh man, pudding, let me buy it. It's only a dollar." It's like it was more expensive than it usually is, but people are like, "Oh, it's a deal. Let me get," and like the pudding got sold out every night
of
or
course.
every
Yeah,
day.
I know.
You know what I mean? Even though it's more expensive, people are just like, "Oh, a deal, I have to get it." And like it's just like a part of their brains that they can't control. So the whole like deal thing is a very predictable part of human nature. Like, and people take advantage of it. Like and they haven't for a while. That's like something's like, "Oh, we can charge $20 or we can make it 19.99 to make it a nice like,
Yeah,
you know what I
it'll make
taking
people think.
off?"
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
sorry,
go
go on.
ahead. No, go
I
ahead.
was gonna say it makes people think that it's actually closer to like a dollar off instead of it being a penny off. It
Exactly.
tricks their brain into thinking cheaper, so I must get. It's
Exactly. And so to kind of go back to what we were talking about,
yes,
yeah, so like yeah, Steam is not going to prevent like games from like 90% off, because like when you just launch a game and it's 90% off, you know exactly what the tactic is. But people are still like, "Oh man, it's $30. Now it's $3. I need to purchase this." Like
yeah,
I'm sure we've all succumbed to this at one point or another. So I'm
probably.
not blaming anyone. Well, all of us have, guaranteed, at some point, you know? But generally it's for things we would want anyways. So,
You
if we could get a sale, why
you'd
not?
think, yeah. But yeah,
So
like they're gonna be stopping that, and it's gonna be like about a month between each time you could change these things. They also implemented some other things like, if Steam is going to be having a sale, you can't have your thing on sale at the same time, or I believe Steam sale overrides it or something. They, I read through it. It's pretty much putting bigger limiters on that sort of thing. Still won't stop devs from trying to game the system, but they sure as hell are going to try, of course.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, honestly, I don't really care about this, like whether they reduce the sales or not. It just kind of it's more of a publisher thing now. That it's kind of on
yeah,
them.
hopefully it'll protect us from a little bit more from getting, I guess, scammed in a way.
And
So
yeah, like I wanted Cuphead for a while, like the game Cuphead. And whenever I saw it on sales like 10%, I'm like, that's not a sale to me in the past. So I guess I do kind of care a little bit actually now that I think about it a little more. So like yeah, like if you can put your game at least at 25% off, I think that's more of a sale than like 10%. 10% is like oh, I've never bought a game that's 10% off, right? Like generally when a game launches, it'll have like 10% off.
mm,
If I was planning on buying the game anyways, sure. But aside from that one scenario, it's like, yeah, give us an actual discount, please. You know?
yeah, if you're waiting for a discount, you'll patiently wait. And if you're gonna get it, you're gonna get it then. So
Mhm.
at
Yeah,
least I think 25% is the point where a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe I'll get it now. So
25% is yeah, I agree with that. That's just generally where people
yeah.
are like, okay, well, it's cheap enough at this point. I'll pull the trigger. So
Hmm.
yeah, so that's that news story done.
Yeah,
I
it's not
think.
much of one, but it's a good one that they're
Yeah,
changing, putting those bigger limiters on there, or
this
for
is a,
when they could change prices and that. So
yeah, this is a story I enjoy talking about. Honestly, when it comes to obviously my background, Chris, with the psychology of people. These are
yeah.
things I always find interesting myself on a personal level. So something I always enjoy talking about. Anyways, moving on, we'll kind of keep Steam in mind here for this next story. So yeah, you remember back like I don't know 5-ish years ago, like every single developer seemed to have their own launcher. Like Steam has had their launcher for like a
Hmm.
couple decades around that, maybe not that long, but yeah, Steam is like the go-to. Then like Origin came out, then the EA one, then the Bethesda one, and then Microsoft. Well, I guess Microsoft always had one too. Now that I think about it, but
Yeah.
yeah, because the Microsoft Store. But every friggin' publisher has their own. Oh, even the Ubisoft one,
Yeah.
right?
Whatever
They
the
see there's so many. I'm forgetting about them. They all want their own games to be on their own stores, so they have control over their games. Which whatever, you
yeah
know. But now Bethesda says, you know what, screw it. We're gonna put all of our games on Steam, and any games you had on our launcher, we're gonna give to you for free, which is actually quite amazing. I'm
that
glad they're doing that.
is really good.
They also mentioned that most, not all, but most of the cloud of your cloud saves will also transfer without any effort on your part. There is a couple of exceptions, and
Hmm.
the one biggest one is Fallout 76. They said you have to like go through a lot of extra steps for that game
Oh,
specifically.
okay.
But yeah, aside from that game, most games are like, I think you have to like actually initiate the what's it called the transfer. But
Hmm.
aside from that, I think it's mostly automatic. So
Yeah,
that's good.
I
One
can
less gaming
see.
store.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just gonna say one less gaming store is a good
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
That's all.
Allowing consumers to have more choice in that, it's always a good thing. But it got ridiculous when every single publisher wanted their own launcher for their games, and you can still buy the games on Steam. But it's annoying when you open up Steam and go play game, and then it opens up another launcher. You're like,
Right?
what the hell is this? Like, I don't have any of those other launchers on my system. I think the only one I have is Epic, but that's also its own ecosystem.
See,
It's not attached to Steam, really. But still, like even if you went to the Epic store and went launch game, like an Ubisoft game, it would have to launch the Ubi launcher, whatever Ubi's uh, system is. So that's really annoying. If I buy it on Steam, allow it to be launched only through Steam. I don't want to open up three bloody launchers to start my game. Like, why can't they all be like GOG? Where I can not have the launcher and still download my games. But
so
GOG is different, so
yeah, the good thing about this migration is that it'll be integrated with Steam. Although they said you will probably still need to log into your Bethesda.net account, but aside from that, the launcher experience itself will be integrated into Steam. So that's always a good thing.
well, guys, when open on Steam opens up, that okay, that's weird. I did not know about that. That was written in chat.
Oh, what's
Apparently,
that?
Fallout Guys, if you open it up on Steam, it'll open the Epic launcher because it's an Epic
Huh,
game. Didn't
that's
know about
funny.
that.
See, and we forgot about even the Blizzard launcher. I forgot about the Epic one until you mentioned. Like every freaking publisher, or at least the AAA one,
Yeah.
has their own
Like,
launcher.
I'll
It's like,
excuse MMOs because they're a little different and they have big downloads for those separate, but even some of the MMO ones are turning those into launchers for their other games. So,
yeah, generally MMOs have like their own launcher just for the game. Like
yeah.
if you, like Final Fantasy 14, for example. But yeah, uh, like you don't need your own launcher, and it's very frustrating as a consumer to have your library like, oh, here's my Steam, and here's like my EA, and here's my Ubisoft. It's like it's all spread
Fragmented,
around,
yeah.
and I would just prefer like a consolidated database, like at least for PC, just
Yeah.
have it all in one place.
GOG could
That's
kind
the
of do
safest.
that, but I do believe you still have to launch those launchers. Like if you were to tell it, oh, I have this Ubisoft game, but it's through this different account or through, we'll say Epic. If you launch it, I think it will still have to launch Epic and then the Ubi account.
Yeah, and here's the thing, since we're on this topic already,
Mm,
that's the only reason why I want to play now that I have my new PC, because I don't have a PS5 or a PS4 even. Now that I have this tower, I can actually play Final Fantasy VII Remake. I've been dying, absolutely dying to play that game. You would not believe the amount of willpower I've had to not play that game yet. But God, I want to play it on Steam. I don't want to play on Epic. And Epic's gonna still have exclusivity until like so it launched in I think December? Was it December or January?
I don't
So I
remember.
still so I'm gonna have to wait like the better part of half a year still for
Yeah.
it to be on Steam. God, I'm not sure I can
I
wait that
mean,
long, Chris.
I've
I'm not
seen
sure I can hold out anymore.
I've seen the game on sale, PS4 copies and that. I'm like, oh, I could get for like $20. And I'm like,
No,
no, I'm
no.
waiting until the game is 100% complete before I touch it. I am not, I don't, I'm gonna know what the story is right to the end because I'll be watching other people play it, but I'm not buying it until it's 100% complete. I will stop myself from buying it until it's finished because I don't want to play an incomplete game or an incomplete story when I know the story is, I, I
Yeah,
I already know
well,
where the story's going, but they are changing things. But still, I want to wait until it's 100% complete before I finish, before I touch it at all. And if we talk about Final Fantasy 7R Remake Part 2, they better give Tifa a suplex. God, I really want that so bad.
you can. Well, I know people have modded the game, so
Yeah,
you could
I've seen some of the nice mods in that. The nice Tifa mods.
nice. You say, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
R rated.
that was that was implied. You didn't have to spell it out. That
Yeah,
was
but,
part of the joke.
people on the podcast don't know that. So, but
Well,
yes,
now they do.
but I do want to see them see what they can do in the new games. It's just gonna make me want to play the game more, and I'm gonna have to stop myself. But yeah,
That's if I buy that on Epic, that's going to be my life for like the next like 2 weeks, pretty much. Just live and breathe that game.
I mean,
I am
it's
so
definitely
ready.
well made, even if some people don't like certain changes, yada yada, whatever, right? It's still well made, so I
I
can't.
know we're going off on a tangent, but
Oh, we are.
this is what I'm saying. I want to play the game, but I don't like my library being scattered. I want it to be consolidated on
Yeah.
Steam. So
Hey,
this is
I mean, I don't think yet you have to open up the Square Enix launcher, or Square Enix store to play, but to be able to play that game yet.
no, you don't. But yeah, like don't buy the PS4 version because it doesn't have the Integrate DLC.
Yeah,
That's
like
only
if I get it, I'm getting it on PC. I'm gonna get it on my piece. I'm gonna play it at the best quality I can, and I have no plans of buying the next gen consoles anytime soon. So they'd
I
have
have
to
a
have a
Series
very
X.
special game to make me buy a new PS5.
Yeah, it's funny. I was just about to say I have a Series X, but I'm willing to buy a PS5 for this game. But like, do I need to buy a PS5 if I can play on PC now? Like
No,
now,
no.
you know?
I think you told me your specs are most of them, and you should be having a good PC being built or that is
Yeah,
built. So
I'm just not sure about this video card. I actually just installed it before our podcast. I know it's not the best video card. I it's what is this? This is a
1060.
yeah, a GeForce GTX 1060. So I'm not sure if it can run all the games in the highest settings or not, but
Highest?
I,
No, I don't know about Final Fantasy 7, but I think it should be fine enough. I don't know. You'd have to look that up yourself, I guess, game by game thing. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I am very glad I missed that part of the story there where they're talking about your game saves will be able to transfer over as well for most games. That's really good because these games, the Bethesda games could take a long time to
Oh
get
yeah.
through. Especially, Skyrim, I don't know how many hundreds of hours I put into that and
Oh
still
God.
want to buy the new version of the game because you can have pets now in the game. I
So
don't want to buy it just because of pets, but you can fish in this
did you?
pet. Like, I want to buy the new version of Skyrim so I can have all the new stuff in it.
Did you buy the version for your fridge yet, Chris?
My fridge cannot play games. My fridge is not like that. It is a normal fridge. It does not have an ice dispenser. It does not have a Bluetooth capabilities. I do not plan on buying a fridge like that. I will use this fridge until it dies, or until more pieces of it break. So,
Well, I think we
but
kind of killed that story off.
yep, I
So
think we go to another story here. Do we have a
yes.
story about things being killed off? Sure, we do, or
Oh
something
God.
similar. Activision Blizzard.
that's 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 the best segue you've ever done on the history of the podcast.
Well,
Oh man, hats off to you. I'm not wearing a hat, but I'll take the hats off to you. There you go.
oh, thanks.
Oh man.
I kind of paused in the middle of what I was saying because I was like, I gotta say something here, and then my brain just farted. But that's a good place to put that. Activision Blizzard, they like hired another law firm that is very good at, or they are very anti-union as well, just like their last ones. They put out some slides and things like that about what they think of people who are unionized, things that they think unionized employees are like. It's like I think the screen we see here is like types of employees unions exploit: lazy, non-productive, and inefficient, footloose and fancy-free, no major obligations or commitments slash financial or otherwise. They are rebels and anti-establishment, oppose society, structure, and management.
Oppose
Ooh,
society.
yeah, yeah,
Like
of course.
what?
Ma-
Let me
Mal-
guess. The next one's devil worshippers, right?
oh God, it should be. It might as well be. They play D&D in their basement and they worship the devil. like they're activists, overqualified for current job positions. So try to claim that people who are unionized will be overqualified for the positions they are in. No, I think that's a job for the anyway. Well, they're whining and they complain way too much. Like this is such fucking slander against your own employees in general. This is what I know that this is a law firm putting these out, but this is such garbage that they would put this out, and that Activision Blizzard is kind of, in a way, listening slash pushing this.
Well, it's funny because there's kind of people have been taking this one in two ways.
Yeah,
Either they were really furious at all this, but mostly they just kind of took it very humorously because it's like, are you serious? Like this can't be real. Like
yeah.
this
It
is such
also
ridiculous.
making fun of like the old terms they were using there, like footloose and fancy free. No one talks like that anymore. This isn't the 60s.
All right.
Like, wow, 50-year-old terminology there.
Well, it's probably a 50-year-old person who made this, or even 60, so it
Yeah,
doesn't surprise
so,
me.
but yeah, this just reeks of gross. Like, yeah, just, it's gross. I don't know. This is just the same song and dance we hear every time we hear of these anti-union busting
Yeah,
firms.
and just to be clear, this union or this firm specifically is like a brand new one. It's not the same one that
Yeah.
Blizzard tried to employ to bust the union that's still forming there. This is an entirely new one, but yeah, it's still stupid. Like oh my god, like they're Blizzard's trying so hard because we covered the last couple weeks, like the even 3 weeks, I think, like just the level of ridiculousness they're willing to go to like prevent this union from
Hmm.
happening. Like try and sway our employees' opinions, send them emails. Now make these stupid like anti-establishment or what was it? Oppose to society. Like what
Yeah,
the
yeah,
like
like
like that's protecting your rights and like teaming up with others that like think the same way you do is not anti-establishment or anti-society. Like do you even know what those terms mean? Like hello,
yeah,
like
it's like they're like the whole rebel anti, that whole one line makes it seem like it's like you see what their place are doing right now. They're being this right now, it's, but they're being that right now because they're being treated unfairly. They're not being paid proper, and they're being physically, mentally, emotionally, and I think I missed one, but abused. Like,
yeah,
it's this is such shit. I
it is shit.
like I know we went over it a few times already with this stuff, but holy crap! Like apparently they took that one page down from the thing, but people already obviously took snapshots of it and said, "What the hell is this shit?" And like you said, lots people furious and people making fun of it as well. Like with all the stuff they put in here, like holy crap! Like I mean, I'm angry at this, but I'm also laughing. Like you can't be serious that this is what they wrote. But yeah, of course it is serious. Like this is what they're trying to push onto the Blizzard management, saying, and to I guess technically the employees trying to change their minds on unions. Oh, getting such garbage.
So okay, well I think we're done with this, right?
Yeah, I think we are.
Okay,
Just
well I guess we'll move on from union busting to apparently, according to this story, child busting, Chris.
oh jeez. Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently, a Microsoft employee, um, a senior one at that, like a senior developer, was sentenced to 1 year community corrections order because his 7-year-old son stopped was not paying attention to him and stopped, or in him wanting to stop his son playing the Switch, so the son was ignoring him. And yeah, he lost his temper. He beat his son, and he was, according to witnesses, heard to scream, "I will stop him breathing." So, yeah, Microsoft is very heavily considering sacking this guy because of that, because that's kind of not a good thing. Like a 7-year-old, like beating him. We
Yeah.
don't know how badly, but like beating him and like having people like your neighbors and other people or whatnot hearing you say that, like
Yeah.
holy shit,
Yeah, it's
that is
terrible.
not a good look.
Apparently, like he was upstairs yeah, asking his son to stop playing or whatever. Obviously kids aren't going to, listen to authority. They kind of act up, that's part of being a kid. And as a parent, you should know this and should learn how to deal with this sort of thing. But yeah, he like apparently when his wife walked in, when he was screaming at the kid, he had the kid in a headlock, trying to stop him from basically choking him out. There was company over at the house and they heard and seen this, apparently. So yeah, um, he's
Imagine
been. Uh,
imagine like having this level of mentality of being so angry you don't care that your wife or guests over to your house, like witnesses,
I mean,
hear you
if
slash
he's
see.
if he's done this this one time, it's probably happened a lot more often. The,
100%,
the
100%.
actions like this don't just, unless if it really was a one-time thing, like him to go to this level. This has most definitely happened before. That's what I think. Because usually when someone goes off the handle, they'll yell and scream, and something might happen, but it's usually left with that, left with much grief. But him screaming at the son, choking him out, this is not a first time occurrence, I believe. Like,
Mm.
you know, you hear stories of this stuff happened, and you could tell a story usually if it's a one-time thing or a common occurrence, right? It's But this is really shitty. He's also supposed to do like 100 hours of unpaid service as well. I think
uh,
on top of the 1 year, whatever it was. But yeah, this is
that won't change anything.
no,
Let's be honest, that won't change anything. That's
I,
not going to help solve the problem. And so what do you think, what's your opinion, Chris, of Microsoft wanting to sack him over this?
I mean. I almost think they should. Like, um, I, I'm I I'm on two fences. I don't know if they should fire him, but I guess it should be, he's doing his thing. I think he should be punished by Microsoft in some way. But if this was to happen again, then he should be sacked. But I don't know like what Microsoft would end up doing beyond this. Like I think a sacking is really harsh punishment. Like unless if they know this was a, unless if there is a proof that this is an ongoing thing, like it is constant domestic abuse, then they should get rid of him. But if this was a one-time thing, like if it really was a, you know, he lost his temper and spur of the moment, whatever, right? Then I don't think he should lose his temper, but he should be punished in some way through Microsoft to teach him, like, if you do this again, you will be fired, right? So I'm
Yeah,
on two fences of that, depending on the severity of and how often it's happened before.
in my point of view, if he did this in front of his wife and the guests, he is like he doesn't have enough willpower, even in
Mm,
those circumstances. Like let's just call them witnesses, because
yeah.
for lack of a better term, that's what they were. If he can't control himself with those people there, then that shows a really like just a lack of emotional intelligence to me. Like he can't control himself.
Mm,
And to kind of answer the question I asked you about what do you think about this, I think he would have been fired already at Microsoft if he wasn't already a senior developer. Like he's a very top level developer.
mm.
I think if he didn't have that seniority,
Oh
they
yeah,
definitely would have
most
fired him
definitely. If he
already,
had just been, a guy in the trenches, then he would have been sacked. If he was us, if he was me down there doing QA, they would have sacked me. But because he's a senior developer slash manager, not quite manager, but he's up there. Yeah, that's definitely probably what saved him for the time being.
for sure.
That's a good point.
I have no way of knowing those two things, but I very strongly
Yeah, that I mean
suspect that's
it makes sense. Uh, yeah, this is so fucking shitty. I think like one of the comments I read on this article or on a different article of this was that someone was saying that I think that all parents, and I kind of agree with this, that all parents within the 9 months before their wife gives birth should go to class to learn how to take care of children. And this is not just babies, but up through their teenhood, because a lot of parents do not know how to do that. And especially nowadays where it's definitely looked very wrong upon, for striking your child. Um, it's definitely something that parents need to learn how to do. I think a lot of women kind of know how to deal with that more than men, but because a lot of men just leave that stuff up to women to deal with. But lots of men need to know how to take care of children and need to know how to deal with their twisting emotions and their rebel attitudes or rebel like kind of attitudes, their defiance against authority. Because as children grow up, they try to push the boundaries to see how far they could go. And a parent needs to know when to stop that boundary or where to stop the boundary and how to do it properly. This isn't the 80s, you can't, 70s. You can't just beat your child and hope that that fixes them, even though that was wrong to do back then still.
yeah. And he's a 41-year-old man with a 7-year-old son. So he would have been what? He would have been
He was
34.
born in 1980s.
He would have been 34 when the son is born. So
Yeah.
that's old enough that he should have known then, especially now at the age of 41. Like, if he doesn't know by now, I'm not saying an old dog can't learn new tricks when it comes to humans, but like, you know what I mean? It's like it doesn't seem to me. I think we're honestly harping a whole too much on the story, but yeah, it's
It
like
is, but I mean, we grew up in like, well, I didn't grow up in a very good, not, I wouldn't say very good family, but very close to that. This could have happened if it wasn't happening already, but I was a child then, but, my parents got divorced when I was 12. So it's not exactly a good family life, you know,
yeah.
and
Um,
I and this could have very closely happened to me or friends if it didn't already. And it's shitty. Like
yeah,
I
I
can't
mean,
believe that some people just don't realize you don't treat people like this, child or otherwise.
I, I can say sometimes it's like a very top, like it's kind of like it gets handed down. Like
Mm,
if your grandfather got beat as a kid and then your father got beat as a kid, and this is a real thing, I'm not making this up, then you as a person are more inclined to beat your kid. It's just the way it works. Like don't ask me why. That's just the way our it's just the way it works for us. It's it becomes easier to break the cycle every time, but it's still
yeah.
there is still some hand me down.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, that's just the way we work as humans. But I'm gonna go back to the old kind of overused expression of just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something. And I'm gonna relate that closely to this. Just because you can have a kid doesn't mean you should have a kid. Not everyone will be a good parent. That's a
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah. But I think that people should be taught how to be able to, raise children. But how do you go about doing that? How do you force that upon people? Yada yada, right?
Hmm.
Who do you trust to be able to tell other people how to raise a child properly? So,
Yeah, there's no like handbook.
no, there isn't,
Anyways,
unfortunately.
anyways, I think we're good to move on,
Yeah,
Chris.
I think we is. There
Okay.
definitely is.
So, we have a couple stories left for this week. So,
I will bring up this one. I think this one's kind of funny in a way.
okay,
So,
yes.
Call of
So,
Duty.
sorry, I was just going to segue into it, but go ahead.
Oh, what were
Talking about not taking a beating.
um, well, I do think that some people might be taking a beating with this, but not a good one, or not a bad one. I mean, it may actually be kind of good.
Unless if you're into it.
Yes, no, of course. Anyway, um, so we've played lots of multiplayer games in the past. Lots of anti-cheat devices being put into games to stop cheaters from cheating. It never stops them from cheating. So Call of Duty is now putting in a different type of cheater mode. Apparently, um, God, basically you put on what is effectively a damage shield, or cheater armor, and when they detect a cheater in the game, the cheater's bullets uh, will bounce off of you or will bounce back at them. So it's like a ricochet anti-cheat software. Uh,
Yeah, that's
Very weird.
so yeah, one of the best, well, not best, but I should say one of the most popular Twitch streamers, Tim the Tatman, made a YouTube video showing this. Basically, if you're cheating and who is it? EA, I think. EA makes Call of Duty, right? Or
Activision.
Activision. Thank you. I thought I was wrong. Activision said there's 0% chance that this will ever happen randomly. Oh, excuse me, randomly or by accident. This will only happen if if the servers detect that someone's cheating in real time. It'll activate this, and apparently it's like a reverse damage buff. Like instead of the cheaters getting buffed, like everything they do, like they don't do any damage. Like everything they do is like reduced to zero. So they kind of like balances out. So
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, it's good to see that. I mean, Call of Duty and Call of Duty and what's the other
Battlefield.
Battlefield are like the two most heavily cheated games, I think, right? Because of their popularity among the
They're
multiplayer
also
scene.
super popular. Yeah, like
Yeah,
what could be 10 million copies sold for every game, basically. But yeah, this is very interesting. I mean, I guess if you can't beat the hackers, then hack yourself. Well,
well,
not quite, but
yeah,
it's basically is a hack to stop hacks, right? Not
I would like to see this level of anti-cheating something over like a lot of fucking new games come with like anti-cheating software that really bloats down your system. You know
yeah,
what? We've talked about this on past episodes, Chris, but yeah, like I would like to see that more. Like don't like yes, prevent them from cheating, but if they get through, which they probably almost always will, just historically they always have,
mm,
then have secondary backups. Have it so the server does this sort of shit. That's
yeah.
hilarious because the cheaters just screwing themselves over in that case, and they're probably going to get their account banned. So they wasted their money and their time and didn't accomplish anything, which makes it hilarious. Honestly, you're basically trolling the cheaters without you having to do any of the work, but you get all the results.
Yeah, yeah. It's different versions of anti-cheat. It's it's funny because they went from like I think the normal anti-cheat stuff, which they couldn't stop cheaters. Then I didn't they do cheater jail in this, or was that a different game where all the cheaters will be put up against other cheaters in cheater games, and that didn't stop them. And then now they're having to do this. How soon before we find out they'll have to do an anti-cheat cheat to,
right?
or
But
whatever.
well, it's server based, right? So I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's going to be a lot more difficult to get around that than like software you download to like make yourself invulnerable, for example, right?
Yeah,
Because like you're
like
not telling the game.
this is a thing you download yourself to protect from cheaters, isn't it?
No, no, no. This is an automatic thing as far as I know. They put it on their own servers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I misread
that's
that.
what
I
I'm
thought it
talking
was another
about. No,
anti-cheat thing that they recommend
no,
you.
no, no, no,
I
no,
see.
no. This is like an automatic. This is what I was saying. It's like you do none of the work and you get all the reward because like they have it on their own servers. That's what I
Okay,
was
yeah,
talking about.
that's
Like have like a secondary backup. Like you have like anti-cheat things built in the game, sure,
yeah.
but people have always gone past that eventually. Server-based anti-cheat is a lot harder to circumvent, right?
You'd
Because
think
it has
so.
as I said, it's not
Yeah.
possible. I know it's not possible. We've seen like Fallout 76 people spawning assets from like Fallout 3 and 4 into the game. Like we've seen this happen. It's not possible, but I'm saying it's a lot more harder. It's a lot more work.
Yeah.
And because it's on their servers, they're able to like deal with it a lot better than like, other people's PCs and throwing out
Mhm.
patches and patches, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So we're both not Call of Duty, or sorry, was it Call of Duty or Battlefield?
This one's Call of Duty.
Yeah, so we're both not Call of Duty players, but you love to see it because that's kind of like if we can make something like this like the industry standard, that's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
If it works well, it'll be really awesome thing. And I
Yeah,
also like fuck with cheaters.
exactly.
Well,
Like
especially if you're cheating in like a competitive game. If you're cheating on your own, then who cares? Use all the exploits you
yeah,
want.
exactly,
But
exactly.
if you're playing with other people where it actually kind of matters, wins and losses and that, then fuck off. Just fuck, do whatever you can to fuck with those people with
Oh,
cheaters
really,
is good.
really quick story. So apparently, I was playing with someone, I forget who, but they accused this person of cheating because the killer did. I think it was the killer. Can you communicate after the match with
And
killers?
Dead by Daylight,
Yeah,
if they are on the same, if they're on like
yeah.
PC, you can.
So
Consoles, for some reason, I don't think you could see chat, but
yeah,
I could be wrong.
that's so strange. It's like how come if you're cross playing already instead sending data already like between two ecosystems, why
I
can't you
think it's
chat?
because they believe that PC or console players don't have keyboards, even though they.
Well,
I don't know why. That's my
okay.
only
Anyways,
only thought on that. I don't know.
anyways, so a killer accused one of my teammates from cheating because they couldn't kill them
Yeah, it
when they're
happens a
just
lot where some people don't know if other people are if some people are cheating because I swear I've been in matches where a killer was cheating, but I really don't know. I know I've been in matches where killers and survivors have been either cheating or had so much lag they were teleporting around. So,
that's happened to me
sometimes
before.
it's hard to tell.
I've literally, how the unhook is very quick, but
Mm,
like there's still like a cast time to it. So in the middle of unhooking someone, one of the killers came slashed me. My Meg was going right,
mm.
and then like the killer like just like slashed me, and like he just kept going past me. But like I took the person. I'm like, oh, he must have like not hit me actually. I took the person down as soon as that cast bar was done. Meg was like on the ground. I'm like, what the fuck is
Yeah,
this? How was if I was on the ground? How did I manage to take them down? And if I took them down, how am I on the ground? It's like doesn't make
yeah.
sense. So
This sometimes it's hard to tell some cheaters, at least when you're playing. But you think the server-based stuff and anti-cheat protection should be able to help, but it doesn't catch everyone.
yeah. So I'm not saying they're cheating. I'm saying like maybe it was a leg
Oh,
situation, but it's
that
just
was more
strange.
likely lag. If he kept going after that, that's more likely what it was. Like there was some kind of
Yeah.
lag hiccup there.
Maybe all he was missing was like his feet not moving, just like like
Yeah,
you
he
know
just
what I mean? Just
slides
like
across. Just no animation, it's sliding.
yeah,
I've
boom.
fallen into the map in that game. Like not underneath the map, but
Dude,
in some of the rocks I fell into the rocks leading up to a building, and I was just stuck there. The killer couldn't kill me, and I couldn't get out, so I had to disconnect.
That's like my specialty. I have so many clips of myself falling through the world in various games, like Batman Arkham Knight, Borderlands 3. It's just like I do an ability or something, I'm like falling infinitely. And then like I look up and like it's just going further
Well,
and further
I
away.
wish
I'm like, is there a death zone
I
down here? I really hope so because I don't want to have to reload my
I
progress. But
wish
like I
in
wait 5 minutes and it's like it becomes like a star in the sky. I'm so far away.
I wish it happened more often because breaking games like that is such it's so funny when you could manage to
Yeah.
clip out of the world and go, well, it
I,
never
I'm
really happens to me. So
I'm pissed when it happens, but then I record the clip and I look back and I laugh my ass off. I'm like, this is the funniest thing in the world to me for some reason.
glitches like that are some of the best things you could content you could get on Twitch. When someone breaks a game like that, not on
See,
purpose.
mine weren't on Twitch. Mine were on my console.
Yeah,
So unfortunate. But oh, I can actually. That's a good idea. I can actually upload those as TikToks. That's a good idea.
you could.
Yes.
Anyway, think we're
So
done. Next
well, we
story?
got one story left
We
actually.
do. I thought we had two, but the thing is the headphones you showed me. So,
Oh,
but
yeah.
last story here. Wow, this is like
This is a
finding pirate treasure.
Yeah, this is a blast from both of our past because we both think the Super Nintendo is the best console of all time. That's what we grew up with.
I don't know about
So,
that. PS2.
leave. Exit
My
stage.
this is my stream. I'm not leaving.
Doesn't matter. I'm taking
I
over
mean,
now.
I think the Super Nintendo, and you're not taking over.
Leave.
Nope.
Leave.
I think the Super Nintendo
Exit
is
stage left.
all right. All right. I think the Super Nintendo is one of the best consoles. I think it's way better than Nintendo. I don't like Nintendo games, like Nintendo era, because I think they're so, you know, it's one step above Atari. Who cares? I think the Super Nintendo is way into gaming, but to me, the PS2 is my favorite console. So,
I am legit surprised. But anyways,
well, it's
moving on.
got way more RPGs on it. Like I've gotten into gaming mostly because of JRPGs, and PS2 and PlayStation because it's backwards compatible is just has that beat hands down. So that's specifically why. So,
Yeah. So,
but anyway,
someone.
that's not about that.
Yeah. No, someone found thousands of dollars of Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis games in the bin that they purchased. It's kind of like it's like a 27-year-old time capsule, pretty much. And a lot of these games are worth a lot of money now.
Yeah, they're all like still
Um,
sealed within the original cellophane
yeah,
wrapping.
and I actually have a lot of these games. Some of the highlights include Final Fantasy 3, Chrono Trigger, Turtles in Time, Secret of Evermore, Zombies Ate My Neighbors, Sunset Riders, Contra Hard
Yeah,
Corpse, Castlevania Bloodlines, and Breath of Fire 2.
yeah,
So
these are
a lot of games.
some of these are
Um,
hard or still expensive, even loose carts of
yeah.
them. Like I think Final
Um,
Fantasies are usually like 100 or so
oh,
bucks each,
more,
or more now because of COVID.
more.
Prices are more now. Damn COVID
Yeah.
prices.
Turtles in Time, that's a game I had, is worth $1,400 on its own if it's factory sealed. Final Fantasy 3,
Yeah,
our favorite game, aka 6, the Pixel remaster
yeah,
that just came out today. It was released as 3 in North America. But yeah, Final Fantasy 3/6, up to $1,200 sealed. So
yeah.
yeah,
The sealed,
that's like per game.
yeah, sealed versions of these games are quite a lot, and these aren't like graded sealed, just factory sealed. Like
Exactly.
if you get them graded, they probably be worth a bit more. But I don't know. Like this is insane. Like this stuff was from an old is it rental store or game store that shut down a long time ago. This all the product was boxed up, sent to a warehouse, and someone found them. And because I don't think whoever owned it bothered to find them again or resell them or whatever. Maybe he died. If I don't know the exact details, but someone came upon them, bought or took home the ware the shipping containers that they were in, and yeah,
Yeah.
just came upon a fucking gold mine of games. There's multiple
So
copies of some of these games. It's insane.
so I need to correct myself. It was more than Super Nintendo Genesis. It was also Saturn, Sega Saturn, the 3DO, and Sega CD games. So some of these
Oh
systems
shit.
slash games are actually quite rare. Like the Super Nintendo Genesis was quite common.
Yeah.
Saturn, 3DO, Sega CD, not quite as common, honestly.
No.
But yeah, to answer your question, it was a video game store that closed in Nebraska in
Oh,
1994. So
thank
this is
you.
like, yeah, so entire stock was packed away and placed in storage. But now, 30 years later, someone opened it up and they actually made a YouTube video out of it. So,
Yeah.
Chris, if you want to later on when we put our
Find out where he
podcast up,
is and go find these games. No,
yeah, I mean,
which
that's
we
I wasn't gonna say that, but yeah,
which we can't, because I believe he doesn't put any information like that in the YouTube video. Smart, of course, because he doesn't want people to fucking raid his place. But
right.
this is
Um,
insane. We don't get stories like this very often, but it does happen that there will be a warehouse somewhere, and someone will just come upon a box and go, "What's in that? That's been sitting there for years," and no one has it on on any of their systems. So they bring it down and go, "What is this? Holy crap!" Right? Like
yeah,
I heard about this happening before for a few times as well, but it's still insane that you find treasure troves.
this is like some of our childhood growing up. So, as much as it would pain me, because these are like brand new sealed games, I would probably sell them because I can just like
Uh,
sell the new ones and buy like
yeah,
relatively new ones,
yeah,
not
I
like
keep the
sealed.
ones that I want to keep, but I would sell off all the access, of course. Like I
Well,
don't
I'm
need
saying
4 copies of Final Fantasy 3. I've got one. Maybe I'll keep one that's sealed just for the hell of it, and then I'll sell off the others, right? You know?
yeah. But I was going to say earlier, if you want to link the video in our description for the podcast later on, so people can see for themselves if they want to. It's like a 7.5 minute
Yeah, I
video. It's
should
got
be able
like,
to do that. I'll put that in. I'll try and make sure I put that in the description. If it's not in
yeah,
there, sorry. Uh, but I'll do my best to remember to put that in there. But yeah, it's just insane. I wish I could be so lucky. Still found this.
well, all you need to do is what's that one show where like people go to warehouses and buy
the
like
Oh, you mean that fucking scam
I
show? Yeah,
I never watch it. I forget the name actually.
fucking
Anyways,
Pawn Stars. Not Pawn Stars.
that's
Um,
oh, I thought that was it. That sounded familiar to me.
Pawn Stars is the one where they go to the pawn shop, which is also kind of a scam. Um,
Okay,
the Storage
the one with the
Wars.
yes, that's it.
Yeah,
But
they totally do not inflate those storage containers with rare things so they have content for the show. They totally do. People have said they do.
there's actually a store here where I live. What they do is they take those Amazon. So so when you return something to Amazon, generally they give you most of your money back. And then they don't. A lot of the time they don't bother reselling. They just like put it into like a collection of like a pallet, and then they sell the pallets as a whole thing. Like
Mm,
here, take the whole pallet
yeah,
for like
Big
X
Bad
amount
Toy
of
Store does
dollars.
that too.
Yeah. So there's a store here. I've not been there, but I've been meaning to go one of these days. I didn't want to go for COVID or in the past, but we'll see if that changes. Anyways, so they buy these Amazon pallets, and then they price them appropriately, like per item. But every day of the week, the value gets knocked off until like the very last day of the week, like the day before they get a new pallet, everything becomes $1. So they generally sell everything at that point, guaranteed, right?
Yeah.
Especially that last day. So it's like how much are you willing to pay? You can like come back tomorrow, maybe the item will be there, maybe it won't be. If it's there, it'll be
Mm,
cheaper. If it's not there,
yeah. You're
shit out of
playing
luck.
kind of playing a gamble at getting something
Pretty
cheaper.
much. So, but it's good because they recoup their losses because Amazon just sells these pallets as like a certain amount of money, like a just like a fixed cost, and then yeah. So it kind of reminds me of that too. It's like you don't know what you're getting. Although this is a little different because this is like a time capsule, not like a like an Amazon pallet. So that's what I thought of. But yeah, good for these guys for finding that.
Yeah, it's really rare we find we hear stories of this or coming out. Like this is even more games that will now be circling into the wild eventually, and you know, screwing up those sealed game collectors' prices once again,
Yeah.
because this stuff does affect that once more copies of games get in the wild. I wonder what the full list was. I wonder if his YouTube channel has that. I'll have to look later because I would be interested just to know what is out there. or what he has anyway in these boxes. That's really awesome.
Well, Chris, I think that's another podcast episode wrapped up for the week. So, you got
Yeah,
any final things to say?
boop. No. I guess we're done. We're done. I guess you can find me, on Twitch. Uh, Gee, sorry, give me a second here. My brain's farting. Um, you can find me on Twitch on Prince_Kaboom. I try to stream like 3 days a week, but depending on how I feel. On my days off, usually early's in the mornings, for me. And I'm probably gonna be doing later tonight, some more Code Veronica, trying to get through there. I'm guessing one or two more streams of that, but we'll see. And uh, and I will be doing art streams eventually, doing some cosplay. That will happen like before that. I don't know how I'll have it set up yet, but eventually. But yeah, go through that. I really want to do Final Fantasy, but I'd also like to kind of do what you were doing, like a Final Fantasy marathon, where I
Hmm.
start at 1 and go all the way through. But we'll see how that happens. I'll more likely be playing 6 on my own for sure, because I need to know how good the remaster is.
Are you going to be streaming it or just off stream?
Off stream for that. I'm still not sure what I'll do after I'm done with the Resident Evil marathon, but I'll definitely be going through 6 on my own personally for sure.
Well, you definitely have the overlays, the ones you made for me for Final Fantasy. If you ever want to use them for yourself,
If I ever want to steal them back, yep.
I mean, you can use them. You made them, right?
Yeah.
So,
So we'll see. We'll see what happens with all that. You can also find me. Like I slowly upload things onto MrPrinceKaboom on YouTube, and uh, what's it? CSCHABANG. That's my Twitter. C shebang. I don't remember what my Instagram is. I don't use very often. I think it was
I can
my
find
name,
out.
wasn't it? Chris Shebang? God, I don't remember. I need to update our overlay here to have the
You
Instagram
do.
stuff,
You do.
but it will be in the descriptions. I just don't personally have mine up right now. But yeah, that's it. Like not much going on there. Just a little bit of gaming and hopefully some cosplay stuff.
So your Instagram is actually your name.
So, is there an underscore?
Yes.
Okay, so it'd be Chris_shebang. So Chris underscore SCHABNG. So kind of similar to my Twitter. But yeah, you can find me there. And yeah, if you're there, you're there. If you're not, you're not. That's all. I mean, what else I gotta say? Nothing else. What can they find you though, Shawn?
Twitter, I try to post there once a day. YouTube, I have a few videos. Haven't really been uploading that often, I'll be honest, but hopefully I'll change soon. And Instagram, starting to post there. Sorry, let's go TikTok. Actually, that's all. All those three are going to be the same. Zorb_Zex. My Instagram is just instead of the underscore, there's a dot, there's a period. So Zorb.Zex. Yeah, I'm trying to. I just, as I said at the start of the stream, I just launched my TikTok and Instagram not too long ago. My next TikTok, I actually have it made. It's actually, I think it's really funny. I kind of make a little bit of a fool of myself, but I think it's really funny. That'll be up on Friday morning, and then yeah, um, trying to plan stuff for YouTube and Instagram as well. Yeah, on Twitch, I'll probably starting Thursday because today's Wednesday. I'll probably be starting to stream Final Fantasy Six Pixel Remastered
Mm,
until I beat it. Honestly, I'll be getting all the achievements in that. It's going to be a little difficult because, as you know, Chris, without spoilers for the game, there is some points of no return, and there's a lot of missables, and a lot of the achievements are like open every treasure chest, collect every hidden item. So I have to be careful. But I know you haven't played the Pixar Masters yet, but
mm,
in every one of the Pixar Masters, I think I've told you this. You can like see the map of the current
yeah.
part you're in, but it also shows you how many chests and hidden items are in the area you are in.
Oh,
So
nice. I didn't know
you
about
kind of
that.
have a checklist as you go. So as long as you're kind of very adamant and you take your time, you shouldn't be missing anything. Because if you do like, oh damn, I accidentally exited the area and I can never enter again, just reload your save. You know,
So
that
I
sort of thing.
wonder for FF6, without major spoilers, like when you go to the returner base, well, they have a mark there saying for the item you can miss based on choice dialogue.
Yes, I don't think that counts. I
Okay,
think that for achievements that does not count because that's not an item you open in the chest or an item you find in the world. It's an item you receive through text.
so that won't be listed on your checklist. Okay, I was
Well,
wondering specifically because of that item, because
yeah,
I like to
that
go
won't
to
count.
that point, I'll make a save, and I'll do the one choice dialogue because I want to see, because I think that's more canon of what happens. And then I'll do the other one because it's more direct forward, but you get the item that way. So, but I like to see that alternate scene. So,
You get an item either way. Just one's better than the other, obviously.
okay, yeah, well, whichever way it was. I like seeing both scenes because I think they both kind of happen, but you miss the one because you don't, you make a
Yeah,
different choice
exactly.
along.
I know what you're talking
Yeah, yeah.
about, but
So I just
spoilers.
don't want to spoil for people who don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay. Well, thank you guys for tuning in.
yeah.
We'll
Thank
be
you.
back next week with real life updates and gaming news. So, yeah, hope to see you there and hope you guys have an awesome week.
Yeah, take care, everyone. Goodbye. Till next
Take care.
time.